WNYT Albany. News Channel 13 live at noon begins right now.
You're probably saying to yourself that it's late in the season, but the flu is just starting to pick up across the country. Dr. Diane Tenebaum from St. Peter's Hospital is here joining us. We were just talking about the blizzard of 1993, and thinking about here we are now, and the weather is so great, so people probably are still not really thinking about the flu, thinking they've escaped it.
It's true, and in fact, when we originally proposed this topic, the producer said, really, do we have to talk about flu? But it's March, and it's interesting because this is one of the latest seasons on record that the CDC, since the CDC's been keeping records with respect to, the onset of what's called widespread and regional and local outbreaks of flu. So yeah, absolutely, we are not over it. They're not entirely sure why this is true. There are some people who believe we should be thanking perhaps Jason and Paul for this, that perhaps it's related to the weather, in that when there's warmer weather outside, people and children are less likely to be sort of huddled and congregating inside. Right. So therefore the spread has been a little bit less. There's also a theory that perhaps it's related to the fact that so many people have actually been listening and been getting vaccinated. More people are vaccinated the past couple of years than we've had in quite some time, so it may be related to that. We're not entirely sure, but we do know that it's a much later start, and we're just starting to see it come into the area.
So if you're not out of the woods for it, is it too late to get a flu shot?
It's not too late to get a flu shot. We know that from the time that you get your vaccine, you begin to get some protection within a couple of weeks, and it's not really widespread in New York yet, so it could definitely help you.
Now, if we're talking about kids, there's some age group where kids have to get a couple of shots, or is it if they've missed it? Or
Right, and we would recommend that you talk to your pediatrician about this because there are some subtleties to this. But in general, if you have not had flu vaccine in previous years and you are under the age of 8, in general, you will need 2 vaccines about a month apart. So babies as young as 6 months of age can get vaccinated, and they tend to need to come back in about a month. Now, the caveat also this year, which was not on our talking points actually, so is not going to be in the graphic, is that there's a new recommendation that we should not be giving influenza vaccine to small children at the same time that we're giving one of our other very important vaccines, Prevnar 13. So you may find as a parent that when you visit your pediatrician for the normal vaccine and well-child visits, that although we are recommending a flu vaccine, we frequently are recommending, particularly for children under 15 months of age, that they come back for that influenza vaccine, because it's really important that we give the Prevnar 13 at the regular visit.
We don't have a lot of time, but what are some of the symptoms? What should parents be noticing?
Parents are definitely going to be noticing a sudden onset of a high fever, so we're talking over 101, shaking, chills, decreased urine output related to decreased oral intake, all those things that parents think of as my child isn't acting right, sleepiness, those things are things to watch out for.
Doctor, great to see you.
Great to see you.
And we want to hear from you if you have any questions or comments. If you have any questions or comments for the doctor, just let us know. But on our segments as well, send us an email, live@noon, WNYT.com. You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter.